Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be carrying on with our colour along in Rita Berman's new book, and we're going to do this picture today with the carrots and the tomatoes and the garlic and the shallots. So I'm going to try and make them look quite realistic if I can. So I'm just going in with sunflower yellow, which is 106, and I'm just going to add a little bit of lighter colour to the tomato so that it's not all red and the same colour. So I'm just going to do this in random places. I think we'll have a little bit here that comes round. And then next I'm going to go in with blood orange, which is 114, and I'm going to go around where we've put the sunflower yellow. So I'm just using light pressure here because I want to keep some of the yellow in there, but I don't want it to be too vibrant. Okay, and then for our darkest shade we're going to go in with Carmine Red, which is 206, and for this I'm going to focus on the outer edges, which would be a bit darker. So I'm just going in with normal pressure on this part. And then for the inside bit, I'm going to use a bit lighter pressure, and I'm going to go over the white areas. And just take it into that blood orange colour slightly. I'm going to add some under here, because this would be a little bit shaded from the leaf. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with blood orange and just go over this bit here where we've put the red in. So I'm just using normal pressure now to darken this up. Just taking it over the yellow where we've just been. And as you can still see the yellow, but I'm just going over it with the blood orange just slightly, just to take the brightness away from it really, because we don't want it to be too bright. Okay, and then going back in with Carmine Red 209, I'm just going to neaten up these edges. And anywhere you want a little bit more red, just go over it again. Okay, so I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. Just going to add a little bit more blood orange over this bit and over the middle. And I think I'll go over this as well because I don't want it to be too bright. There we go, that is our first tomato. So we're going to do the same for the second one. So taking sunflower yellow 106, we're going to put in where we want our highlights to be. So I'm going to do one on this edge here. randomly placed in the middle. So then going in with blood orange, we're going to go around that, just using light pressure to start with. So we can get an idea of where all of our colours are going to be placed. Okay, and then we'll go in with Carmine Red 209 and we'll darken up the edges. So I'm using quite hard pressure for this. I'm going to go under these leaves because this would be dark. And then do a little bit in here as well. And a little bit on this top edge. I'm just going to go over this line here in the red. And here. To darken that up. And just along this edge at the bottom because it is behind the other one, so it would be a little bit darker anyway. So then going back in with blood orange, I'm going to go over and blend everything together. So I'm just going all over the tomato with this, over the yellow, the red, all the colours that we've already put in. There we go. So that's our 2 tomatoes done. Now for the tops of the tomatoes, they're quite a dark green colour. Okay, so for the leaves, for the lightest colour, I'm going to use apple green, which is 608. And this is the Arteza set, it's the 120 set this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to the very edges of the leaves and make them the lighter. I'm just going in with light pressure again. And then taking emerald green, which is 613, so that's quite a dark green. I'm going to fill in the middle and work this towards the edges. And again, I'm just using light pressure so that we can see what it looks like before we go in and burnish it. Okay, so it's looking quite nice. I'm going to go back in with apple green and just darken up the edges. I'm just taking it over the emerald green as well to really blend that together. And then I'll go back in with emerald green, darken up the middle, and then just lightly bring the colour towards the edge. Okay, so I'll do the same thing for the next one. Next we're going to move on to the carrot. So for this I've chosen orange A113, and I'm just going to go over and put a light base coat over the whole of the carrot. I'm not going to go on the stalk because obviously that's going to be green. So that's our light base coat. Then using raw sienna 301, which is quite a light brown colour, I'm going to go over these little lines that she's added and make some of them a little bit bigger, and that's going to be like where the mud would stick in the carrot. So just make these slightly curved. So we're going to do some little and some a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's our lines in our carrot. And then I'm going to go back in with orange A113 and just fill this in. done. Well, the orange part anyway. Now for the stem itself, it's quite a vibrant green colour. So for that, I'm going to use Absinthe Green 602. And I'm just going to fill this in. And then going back in with Emerald Green 613, just for a little bit of shading. Just going to do a tiny little touch here where the top joins the carrot. There we go. And that's our carrot done. So next we're going to move on to this little bit, and I think that is an apple. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to do it as an apple. And I want a green apple. So for this we have two colours, Absinthe Green 602 and Apple Green 608. So the apple green is going to be our darker shade. So we'll go in with Absinthe Green first, and I'm just going to do some light patches where it's got a little bit of highlight on the apple. So I'm going to base it more on this side. And then using Apple Green 608, I'm going to fill in this side. And I'm only using light pressure here because I want to see what the colours are going to look like before I put too much pressure on the paper. Just take this over the Absinthe Green so it blends together. Okay, I like the way they're working with each other, so I'm going to start darkening this up. So just apply a little bit more pressure here. I'm going to leave that little bit there. So it's the lightest first coat, so it'll act as a little bit of a natural highlight. And now just take the pressure off, so it's not as much pressure, but you're still getting some colour down, and that way it'll be easier to blend. Okay, so going back in with Absinthe Green 602, we're going to go back over the lighter bit that we did and take it over the dark green. And what we should end up with is a nicely blended green apple. And then where we've got this little white bit here, I'm just going to do very light pressure. Just make that a little bit green. So next we're going to tackle the shallot. Now you can get like brownie coloured ones, but you can also get purpley coloured ones. So I'm going to go for the purple ones because why not? It's purple. So the colour that I've chosen is Orchid Purple 407, and what I'm going to do is just go in with a light base coat of this and try and leave some white gaps in there as well. Actually, I might go in with the cream first, so let's go in with cream 10A100. And what I'm going to do with the cream is I'm going to focus it where the lines are, because looking at the picture the lines are white and the rest of it's purple. So I'll just go over the lines with the cream. And then going in with Orchid Purple 407, I'm going to fill in the rest of the shallot, and I'm only using light pressure for this because I want to gauge the colour before I put too much pressure on. So I'm just going to go over where we put the cream, because it should naturally lighten up and not be too dark. So we're just going to completely fill this in. And what you end up with is like a little textured effect from the cream underneath. So just light pressure all over. And then just at the base, I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on just to darken up the base. And a little bit more up here. And then I'm just going to go over this again with light pressure just to darken it up a little bit more. So just all over with light pressure. Okay, that's looking good. And then I think what I'm going to do for that is go over it with a white gel pen so that we get the white lines here. So I'm just going to go over the lines and just follow them down. I need to do 2 coats of this. But we'll see how it looks when it's dry. Okay, so we'll leave that as is for now and we'll come back to it later if it needs a bit more colour. So we've now got the garlic to do. So what I'm going to do with this, again, I'm going to go in with cream first, 8100. And sort of in the middle of where the bulbs are is more of a creamy colour. So I'm going to put some cream in the middle. Hopefully you can see this on camera. You might not be able to. So I'm just doing that like in a little half semicircle motion. And then the cream's got like a purple tint around it. So I'm going to go in with Lilac 408 and I'm going to go around the cream. And then I'm going to follow this up to the top. And do the same for this one. And then I'm going to fill it in with Fog Grey 102. So I'm going to go over these white parts and I'm going to go over the purple and the cream as well. And then going back in with the lilac, I'm just going to lightly go over and just blend this out so it doesn't look quite as harsh. So I'm just using light pressure and little circular motions. It's looking a little bit too bright, so I'm going to go in with a white. So white quartz A001, and I'm just going to go over the whole picture, or the whole garlic bulb should we say, and just blend this all together. Add a little bit of cream to the edges there. There we go. And then going back in with a white gel pen, I'm going to go over the black lines inside of it. It's quite difficult to hold the gel pen at an angle where you guys can see, so I apologise if you can't see. So this I think is meant to be thyme. So we're going to do that with like a brown stalk and then some green coming off. So using raw sienna 301, we're going to fill in the stalk. I'm just going to do this with light pressure. And then for the leaves, we're going to go in with Absinthe Green 602. And we're just going to fill them in with light pressure as well. Then we're going to use Emerald Green 613 just to add a little bit of depth to the leaves. So I'm going to put this in the bottom and just get lighter as you come towards the middle. And then going back in with Absinthe Green, I'm just going to blend that all together. So you want to use a bit more pressure on this bit. Going back in with raw sienna 301, I'm just going to darken up the bottom bit here. So just put a bit more pressure on there. And this bottom bit here. And then just lift up on the pressure and just do a light coat towards the middle. So that gives us a little bit of highlight in the middle. Okay, for these leaves here, I'm going to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in with our lightest colour, which is Matcha Green 609. And I'm just going to do a light coat all over. And then going in with Moss Green 616. I'm going to go over the middle line and then I'm just going to add little strokes in here to make it look like leaves. And for this one, again, I'm just going to go over the middle line and then I'm going to darken up these lines here and match them to the other side. Okay, and then going back in with Matcha Green, I'm just going to use light pressure again and just add a little bit more colour. So you want to still be able to see the moss green underneath, which we can. So for our background, I'm going to do peachy colours. So I've got 3 different colours here. I've got Peaches and Cream, which is 200, Apricot, which is 111, and Orange Marmalade, which is 110. So we're going to start off with the lightest shade, which is Peaches and Cream. And I'm just going to do a base layer all over. And I'm just using light pressure for this. Okay, and then going in with our darkest shade, which is Marmalade Orange, A110. I'm going to use this to add some shadows under the carrots. So I'm just going to go in and place it underneath the carrot here, make that a little bit darker. So I'm just using hard pressure when I'm near the carrot and then just lifting it off as you come away. Then in between these leaves, we're going to have some shade. So I'm going to do this bit all dark. Under here, under here. I'm going to use this to darken up the corners as well. And do the top corners as well. We're going to go under the tomato, follow it round, under here, under here, so we'll go along the side here. And again for this. This bit in here, along here. Okay, so that's all of our dark shading done. So next, using our medium colour, which is Apricot 111, what I'm going to do is anywhere where I've put shadows, I'm just going to use this to blend it in to the peaches and cream tone that we've got down. So I'm just using light pressure and doing circular motions. To do some shading under here, so I'll add a little bit in with this colour. Just do harder pressure and you'll get a darker colour, and then just use the light pressure to blend that out. Okay, and then going back in with peaches and cream, I'm just going to lightly go over this, the white bits. And again, I'm just using light pressure for this, because I don't want the colour to be too strong. I also don't want the white to show through. Okay, so using a white Posca pen, I'm just going to go in and add some highlights. So I'm going to put a highlight on the apple, like so. I'm going to do the same for the tomato. Okay, you guys, and that's that one finished. So we've only got this one left to do, which we will do next Sunday. So I hope you stay tuned, and then we will have finished the whole page together. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below what page we should do next, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.